Good evening and welcome to another conversation about integrity. Looking forward to this conversation. This is about continuation from yesterday, integrity about referrals and networking. And tonight's conversation is going to be kind of short because I really want to touch on a couple things, what I call the second and third level tier of referral. Now, what do I mean by that is I'm actually going to take and draw a couple circles on the board here to make this a little easier to understand. So here we have the initial person. Let's call that John Doe. And they are the person that you come and talk to, and they say, oh, well, I know a person. That's the second tier. That's your second tier. And then that person knows somebody, and there's your third tier. Now, what's important about this? Yesterday we talked about the integrity of a referral and what that looked like. We talked a little bit about Peter Paul Rusin and Tatsuya Nakagawa and their conversation about the different tiers of referrals. And tonight we're going to have a conversation about the networking aspect and what we're looking to achieve here in that. So I personally belong to a networking organization called BNI, Business Network International. And inside of that, I'm going to tell a story on myself and be a little transparent. Not last year, but the year before, it was actually the first year I went to Zig Ziglar. On the Zig Ziglar training, I was getting very frustrated at my networking organization. I was looking at a room of 40 people, and not one of the people in the room at that moment in time was my client. And I'm like, wow, what am I doing? What am I, if I can't make a difference here and have one of these people be my client, why am I here? I'm giving referrals, I'm doing one-to-one connections, and not a person here is doing business with me. So I was a little bit down in the dumps. Fast forward, I go to Zig Ziglar, and part of the training was to have a look and see, so where do you get your business from? And look at the circles. So I took a look, and I went, And what I discovered was that 60% of my second tier came from the BNI group, and 70% of my third tier of referrals came from the BNI group. Basically, a lot of my income had come from the referral of a referral inside my network. And I started to be responsible for that. And I came back and I actually apologized to my group for being a jerk. And I shared this experience. And what ended up happening was about 2 months later, or a month and a half, I did a 12-minute presentation on networking and what that looked like to reach to the second tier and the third tier. And what I saw was, my goal was to create the John Doe in BNI, knowing what it is that I do, understanding who I am. So neighbors, family, like making sure they know beyond any reasonable doubt, right? They know what it is that I do for a living and how I do it. And who are the people I'd love to be connected with. Now, authentically, doing that connects you to the people around you. And sure enough, knowing what I know now, that has been the most powerful source of connections for me. And people often are curious to know why and how. Well, because one, that's a little bit about how life works in this arena. And if I'm doing a good job of training the John Doe in my world, then he is going to be a sales force for me in his world. And so far, and also the next stepping stone into the third tier. So how do we do that? We make flyers. We do very powerful meetings, face-to-face, mano a mano, one-to-one, as the B&I world calls it. And you learn who the person is in front of you, their age, their date, their, any anniversary, all this stuff. And you learn all this information and you share who you are and how you are. Then knowing that and letting them know who is your, what I would call perfect avatar, and letting them know what you're looking for and being in communication, and then acknowledging them when you get a referral from them. That's my invite, is to look at how is your networking going? What are you doing to impact the second tier and third tier? What are you doing? I'd love to hear. By the way, if you ever have any questions or concerns or would love to get something answered, please feel free to reach out. You'll see in a moment here that I have given you my phone number and my website information, so feel free to grab that. And I appreciate you coming to watch, and I would love to have questions to answer. Please reach out, ask me anything. I'll do my best to get an answer for you or send you to somebody that can. God bless you. Have a wonderful evening. Take care.
Coaching with Les has doubled my practice.
If you have any struggles in your business or your personal life, Les is your guy.
He's logical, he's empathetic, he has passion for helping people, and his ideas are genuinely thoughtful.
So if you're looking for a business coach with integrity, choose Les Still.